All right, KDPS 88.1. You're listening to the Thursday Night Takeover with Miss B. Now, this is going to seem kind of strange, but U.S. doctors have found that the Bee Gees' 1977 disco anthem, Stayin' Alive, provides an ideal beat to follow while performing chest compressions as part of CPR on a heart attack victim. Can you believe that? Who would have thought that a song would have the exact beat that you need to perform CPR? There's a Dr. David Matlock of University of Illinois College of Medicine at Peoria who said that listening to Stay Alive helped 15 doctors and medical students to perform chest compressions on dummies at the proper speed. Now, when they had a test or quiz, he would ask them to remember that song when performing the CPR, and most of them did excellent because they remembered the beat of that song. Can you believe that? Who would have thought that music would help save somebody's life eventually? Well, you know, potentially could save someone's life. We're not going to say that you know how to do the chest compressions right, but remembering that song will keep you at the right speed. Coming up, we've got all your requests, 263-2985. We've got some music news, some new releases in music and in movies, and we've got some Keisha Cole, some requested old, little scrappy, but right now we've got The Business featuring Young Berg, requested music from Damien here in Des Moines. You're listening to the Thursday Night Takeover from Miss B. KDPS 88.1, you're listening to the Thursday Night Takeover with Miss B. That was Get Up by 50 Cent, of course, when people are caught speeding. There are 3 excuses that are mostly used according to the DMV.org. The first one is, I'm not from around here, which this excuse is used most often when people are caught speeding. Now, an officer on a good day, this may work, but if he asks to see your license, then you're in big trouble. And then number 2, I'm on my way to the hospital. You wouldn't believe there are so many different excuses people use as to why they're on the way to the hospital. For example, like, my wife's in labor, I'm in terrible pain, etc., etc. But you better watch it because some officers will offer to call an ambulance for you or escort you to the hospital. So choose your excuses wisely. And then last but not least is, I'm almost out of gas. And statistics show that speeding up does not help you save gas or get to the gas station quicker, but you're actually getting to the point where your car is going to die faster if you speed up. So if it's that time of the year where you have the air conditioning, turn that off and go kind of slow but not under the speed limit, and then maybe if you cross your fingers, you'll get to the gas station in time, if that is the true case. But we do have to be careful when driving, so if you're speeding, just fess up to it. I know, just fess up. It's hard. That way you can save yourself the embarrassment, sometimes the ticket. Sometimes they let you go, but I'm not going to say that all the time. So there's 3 top excuses that are used for people who are caught speeding. And you know there's speeders out there. There's speeders. There's people who talk on their cell phones. There's people who reprimand their kids while they're driving. There's all sorts of crazy drivers out there. Coming up next in the song set, you've got some old D'Angelo, new Hurricane Chris, Eve, here on the Thursday Night Takeover with Miss B. KDPS 88.1, you're listening to the Thursday Night Takeover with Miss B. That was Beyonce with Single Ladies. Gotta love the Beyonce. Doesn't it seem like she keeps coming out with club hit after club hit after club hit? And then just before that, it was Pop Champagne with Jim Jones and Ron Browns, plus Jules Santana. Gotta love them, gotta love them. Now I'm going to tell you about some jobs that are dirty, but you know what? You get paid when you do them. The first one is going to be a veterinarian, which in the median salary is $70,000. Can you believe that? $70,000. Then the second one is waste management engineer. They make about $67,000. A trauma surgeon makes $273,000. Can you believe that? And then a coroner, he or she, I should say, gets paid about $52,000. And then, last but not least on the dirty job list that pays well, the certified nurse midwife, delivering babies, everything like that. She gets paid about $81,000. Man, I wish I could be making that much money doing what I do best, of course. But 263-2985 is the number. Give me a call. Get your requests in. KDPS 88.1, you're listening to the Thursday Night Takeover with Miss B. There's some new brandy with Right Here. Now, what's the healthiest city in America? It appears to be Burlington, Vermont. Vermont's largest city is at tops among U.S. metropolitan areas by having the largest proportion of people, 92%, who say they are in good or great health. See, the problem with that is they say they're in good or great health. So how do you know that's true? But it's also among the best in exercise and among the best in lowest obesity, diabetes, and other measures of ill health, according to a recent report from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I want to see how many people honestly are going to be of health of that 92%, because they say, it doesn't mean they are, but that's my brain thinking. But too bad it's not Iowa. We all know that Iowa, it could be healthy, it just chooses not to sometimes. But I like brownies, I like goodies, so that's my problem. But anywho, we're going to get back into the music. 263-2985 is the number. Give me a call, get your request in, because the phones are blowing up. I might not have time to get them all in, but getting into the music, we've got some new Murphy Lee, some requested music, and some Jay-Z. Swagger Like Us right now on the KDPS 88.1, the Shuffle Station. This is Bridgett Robinson with Grandview News, and I'm with Lieutenant Miller of the West Des Moines Police Department, and he's going to speak to us about the new Teen Citizen Academy in the West Des Moines Police District. First of all, what exactly is the Citizen Academy designed to do?
Well, there's three different reasons. One is to open up our department to our younger citizens. Right now, again, our existing Citizens Academy, we open up our department to citizens, people who live in West Des Moines, people that work in West Des Moines, and they get to know us, we get to know them, and they usually walk away being ambassadors of our department. We want the same concept for the younger people in our city. Let them know us, let us know them, and that's one reason. Another reason is some young people might be deciding, well, what do I want to do when I go to college? What courses do I want to take? It might give them just a snapshot of what this job really is, what it entails.
So this is really an introduction of the police department as a whole, kind of opening their eyes to a new perspective of a job opportunity, perhaps?
Yes, it is. It's a little bit like a recruitment tool also. I mean, these young men and women will be, in the job market for being a police officer for, 5 to 9 years, but then again, they'll get that snapshot. Do I really want to do this? And we're going to make it as hands-on as possible. We're going to let them, stop vehicles and know what it's like. Plus, at the same time, we'll tell them that, well, when an officer walks up to your car, when you get stopped driving, this is why he has his lights on. This is why he shines his flashlight in your window, and this is why he takes these precautions. So I think it'll increase the understanding of our practices to the younger people.
Okay, and I know you mentioned being an ambassador. These young people being ambassadors, does that involve sort of being an advocate for not drinking and driving or making smart decisions during prom time, things like that? Is that what the true job of the ambassador would entail?
Well, a lot of times the police departments get, a bad rap because they don't understand their department, they don't understand the officers. We're hoping that these young men and women will leave here understanding why go out, and they'll tell their friends, hey, listen, if you get stopped, make sure you do this, make sure you don't do that. I think it'll create, a better relationship between the police and the younger citizens. And the ultimate goal would be, it'd be great if they said, well, I've been through this, or I know someone that's been through this, and I am going to be driving careful. So if that is a product of this, then that'll be fantastic.
And then finally, when is this program supposed to start, and how long does it run?
Well, this will be our first chance at this. It'll run from June 16th through June 20th of this year, from 8 a.m. until noon, and it'll be held at the West Des Moines Police Department. There is a $25 fee that covers some of the expenses that does occur, and there's some applicant qualifications. We want these young men and women to, put forth an effort. We just don't want someone to sit there and just use it as a way to get out of the house. We want some effort. You have to be 13 to 17 years of age. You have to be currently enrolled in attending a school in West Des Moines or attending a school within the West Des Moines school district or live in West Des Moines. You have to have a 2.0 grade point average, and then, of course, you have to have a parent's written consent, and they have to agree to attend all 5 sessions.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Lieutenant Miller. This is Bridgett Robinson with Grandview News.